We are, of course, live with the internet phone in. We're live on YouTube, we're live on Twitch, we're live on Facebook, and we're live on LinkedIn Live. How amazing is that? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've just started on TikTok as well, so the TikTokers are joining us. DINKY-DOO, absolutely lovely to have you with us. Diane, wonderful stuff. Now, tonight, so much to talk about, so little time to do it in. Off we shall go to the telephones as soon as possible and see what is happening. So there you go. Lots and lots of reaction. And lots of your calls coming in already. I cannot believe it. Just incredible. Welcome, welcome, I say, to the telephones as quickly as you like. Here we go. Hello. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that? Hello.
DINKY-DOO, how are you, son? Martin.
Hello, Martin. Well done. You got on first tonight.
Yes, correct.
You've beaten Kareem and you've beaten Glenn. That's well done. Hello, pals. This is Thomas Hamilton. DINKY-DOO on the TikTok. Welcome, welcome, Martin.
Son?
Very well, son. How are you, son?
Very well.
Have you had a good day?
I've just found out the buses are going on strike from the 1st of November to until further notice, but we are not happy about it, and that's something we need to talk about. The buses, why are they going on strike?
Well, maybe they need to go on strike, Martin, you know, if they're looking for a better deal, for higher wages, that sort of thing.
I know, but I don't find it amusing, mate. It's really...
Well, no, it's not. But listen, no strike is meant to be amusing. It's got to hit hard so that the government think, right, we really do need to sort this out.
I know, but I blame Stagecoach and I blame...
No, you can't mention companies like that, Martin. I'm sorry, you'll need to go. There we are. We don't blame any companies at all. Right, now we're talking to... hello, you're live on Scottish phone in. Who's that? Hello? No, nobody. Right. Guys, remember, if you're coming on, of course, we don't mention second names. We don't mention names of individuals, or you'll get a lifetime ban, and we don't mention companies. Yes, we sorted it out there with Martin, so he'll have an idea now. There we go. Fantastic stuff. Right, back to that, I say. Now, who have we got here? Let's just check the chat. Oh, there we are. Kareem must be in the bath, says Numpty Hoot. Wait till we see who this is. You're live on Scotty's phone in, DINKY-DOO.
DINKY-DOO, Scotty, it's Kareem. How are we?
Kareem, lovely to have you with us. Martin beat you on tonight.
I know, and that's fine. Challenge accepted.
Yes, but we had to chase him there because he got it wrong. He mentioned a company.
Right,
and we don't do that, as everybody knows, you know. So
yes,
there we go. But he'll get the hang of it. I don't think there's any malice in it, if you know what I mean.
Yes, no, he was just being passionate in what he was talking about.
He was being passionate, yes, indeed. So there we are. So it's my job to cut him off if he oversteps the mark.
Correct. I'm sure he'll phone back later.
Oh, I've absolutely no doubt. Now, how are you?
I'm not too bad, Scotty, not too bad. I was having a wee think today about two things to speak about. It's not really political, because I know someone criticised me last night saying I'm always political with things.
Don't you listen to any criticisms, Kareem, because these people don't understand it. They may have heard you once. I think that was Murray. Actually, Murray's okay. He's one of the good guys, but he said no politics, but he wasn't indicating whether it was politics with a small p or a large p, you know?
Yes. Well, that's fair enough. That's fine, yeah. Well, the first thing was, I did mention this briefly the other day. I think it was in a post, but I've read today, which is, I think, great. One of the major supermarkets, which we will not name, is now not selling fireworks.
Excellent. Yes, now I did hear that, Kareem. It would be nice to think it's a direct result of the internet phone-in.
Well, you know, we spoke about it, and boom, there we go.
Yes, you never ever know who's listening. I mean, it's incredible. Here's a guy called, wait till you hear this, Kareem. Here's a guy on TikTok. He's called Franco Beg, and he says, Kareem needs to find another hobby rather than call every single night. Now, I think there's a problem there with Franco Beg, don't you?
Yes.
What is Franco Beg's problem? Do you know what I mean? Has he called? I doubt it.
Well, I was going to say that.
Yes. So there, come on, Frankenberg, you need to come on and explain yourself big time.
Absolutely. I'll be interested to hear.
Yeah, well, we flung down the gauntlet, Kareem.
So, but that supermarket's not going to sell them, and I know some other of the big chains are now starting to sell the fireworks, but they are not noisy. They're the quiet ones.
Silent fireworks, silent whizzers. Yes, absolutely.
So I suppose it's a step in the right direction.
Well, as I say, in Manchester, I mean, I've fortunately never been in that kind of terrific war zone, but I've heard all about it from people. And, you know, I mean, thank goodness that we haven't been there, but it was a dreadful feeling. And as I say, the dog who was in the house was terrified.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about, obviously, animals, the elderly. If you think of people that have autism and don't understand what's going on, you know, with lights.
People who are sensory and they can feel something happening, but they don't know what it is. Might be an earthquake.
Yeah. Well, my two were terrified earlier on, Scottie. I came home, had a wee lie down because I had a really tiring day at work. And then there was like a massive explosion. It was obviously thunder.
Oh, yes. Now, I heard that. Now, don't tell me. I think we're talking about 5 o'clock.
Yes, around about that time.
And I thought it was somebody moving one of these, you know, these great big bins. So the first time I heard it, it was quite distant. You know, these kind of big skips on wheels. And I thought it was somebody moving one of them. And then the second time I thought, what is that? And I looked out and I thought, that's thunder.
Yes, yeah, it was really, really loud.
Well, it's monsoon weather today. Today was roasting.
It was quite warm, very wet at times. I think it's to be wet all week, and that comes back to the fireworks, Scottie, that I'm not really, well, where I am, I'm not hearing much of it, obviously because of the weather probably, but that might have an effect, obviously, next week, if it's going to be drier with a lot of the kids and the young ones out and fire them.
Absolutely. Another thing I don't like is when people light bonfires and then they get out of control and the fire brigade go to put them out and get abuse.
Yeah, busiest time of the year for them, I think, isn't it?
You know, well, it's just bad news. I mean, I've even been to an organised display, you know, and a rocket took off the wrong way. I mean, fortunately, nobody was hurt. I said to a gentleman, are you okay? He said, I just caught the side of my leg there, you know. But they are dangerous things.
Yes, they are. My second point, Scottie, we've spoken this briefly, but it's more to do with probably some of the listeners will probably comment more on this one.
The listeners and the viewers, Kareem. Let's have it straight. Yes.
The TikTokers. Last year, there was people were complaining about a Christmas song, and they've changed the lyrics now. I won't go into the whole song, but the singer sang, "You cheap, lousy faggot."
Oh, yes.
And it was that song, and it's a classic Christmas song. I won't name the name of the song, but I'm sure
we know the song, absolutely. In fact, you can name it, yes, Fairy Tale in New York.
Correct, yes. An absolute classic song. But last year, because so many people, well, a lot of people complained, or I don't know who complained, but the big companies thought we need to change this. They did change it. We'll probably see them to change a lot more this year compared to last year when they just changed it at Christmas time.
Well, you see, I don't know that should happen, and I'll tell you for why. Because a faggot is a piece of beef. It's like a mince patty. It's like a meatball.
Yes.
You see? Yes. And that's what it is. So, you know, somebody obviously has abused the word at some point, and people then take that word as to mean that. Now, I don't think because somebody's abused a word, we should be changing the words.
Yep. It's history.
Otherwise, you'll end up with nothing in the language.
Yeah. How many people have sang that every single year? How many people with the memories of that song?
That's the song. Don't change it. A bit like historical revisionism. If you take down all the statues for slavery, generations will not realize there ever was slavery.
Yep, you're rewriting history. You're just, you know...
Historical revisionism, Kareem. And it's wrong.
Yeah.
Leave things as they are. Don't interfere. I'll tell you a lovely story. Do you remember the James Herriot books?
Yes.
Yes, All Creatures Great and Small. James
Yes.
Herriot started off, I think he was a vet in Edinburgh. He qualified in Edinburgh, probably at the Dick School. And I mean, I would need to check that. But when he was a youngster, he was always fascinated by animals. And the coalman's horse was parked, waiting patiently at the side of the road while the coalman was offloading coal. So, James Herriot, I don't know if you're getting flashing going on the internet at the moment, but that'll be the thunder. Anyway, yeah, just might be a bit unstable for a bit. Anyway, as a wee boy, he went up and he patted the coalman's horse. Now, the coalman's horse was obviously a working beast and was used to working for the coalman. The coalman's horse picked him up with the seat of the pants and had him in his mouth. Right, and he's shouting, help, help, and he's getting shaken about by this big horse, big Clydesdale horse or whatever. Anyway, the poor coalman came running out from where he'd been delivered and grabbed him and rescued him and put him down and says, "Are you all right, sonny?" You know, and he goes, I just got a fright. And the coalman said to him, "Son, dinna ever meddle with things you dinna ken onything about." In other words, don't touch something that you know nothing about. And I think with these people that are trying to invade our world, thinking, making it what they think might be politically correct, shouldn't meddle with things they know nothing about. There's no way that any of these people that are mucking about with our language will have a deep knowledge of all the historical background to what they're playing with. You know?
Totally different times as well. You know,
totally different times. And people regulate themselves, you know what I mean? You don't have to have a law for everything. It's a bit like, have you ever heard the concept of sign pollution?
Too many signs.
Too many signs all over the place. You know, school 25 when lights flash, slow down, humps in the road, low-flying aircraft, this way to the nearest attraction, watch, you know, beware slippy pavement, ice in the winter, all that stuff. And eventually people get sign pollution and they can't think for themselves. You know, so we need to be careful. Even these signs in the motorway, giving you good advice, you know, tiredness can kill, take a break, you know, that sort of idea. But people know what they're doing. And if we get nannied like that, we'll think, excuse me, what was I to do next?
Well, it's like that in education. The old style, as you'll know, Scottie, is the teacher would stand and just tell the class everything and they would write stuff down. But the new style now is about cognitive elements where they're having to think, problem solve and make decisions, critically analyse. And that's exactly when they leave school and then it comes to being told what to do. It's like a contradiction, isn't it?
Yes, a contradiction in terms from these styles. Because an apprenticeship, when I served an apprenticeship, I went into banking when I left school, and it was really an extension of school. The manager was the hidi and the accountant was the deputy. You know, and I can remember I had to change my handwriting because I'm left-handed, Kareem. And I used to write in a kind of backhanded style. I now write right-handed copperplate with my left hand. And that was because the accountant said to me, we used to fill in people's books, their accounts, so they got them back with they'd taken £5 out. So under the withdrawal, I would write £5. And he looked at stuff, he said, "You need to sort out your handwriting, boy." You know, and that's how they spoke to you. And for a tenner a week, we had a blue suit and our hair cut, white shirt, looking smart.
They used to change that in the schools, didn't they? That if they said it was the left hand was the devil's hand.
Well, left hand, yes, you've got dexter is your right hand, so you sit at the right hand of God, you're dexterous. If you're right left-handed, it's your sinister hand. And that's what they did with poor wee King George VI, the Queen's father. They tried to correct him, and he ended up with a dreadful stutter.
Yeah.
Because he was a nervous wee boy anyway, you know what I mean?
It's to do with the different parts of the brain and how it works.
Yes.
Well, Scottie, that's really the 2 points I wanted to make tonight.
That is fantastic. I shall put this to many nations, and we'll see what happens.
Listen, Dinky-Doo, and speak tomorrow, Scottie.
Lovely hearing you, Dinky-Doo. Kareem, all the best, lad. There we are. What a top man. That's our Kareem Dinky-Doo, I say. To the telephones as quickly as possible. Now then, what have we got here? Wow. Some chat. You're all having a wee chat amongst yourselves. And on the TikTok, fantastic stuff on the TikTok. Dinky-Doo. Hello, Scottie. Hello. How are we? Hi, everybody. Hi, Dee. Dee, thank you again. I need to talk to you. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, Scottie. It's Martin. I apologise.
No, not at all, Martin. I know there was no malice in that.
I know.
But we're not a knocking shop. You didn't say anything, too wrong. You just mentioned companies, and we don't do that because everybody's got opinions, and you know that they are a fantastic company.
Yes.
You see, so that's that. So, but you'll know in the future, Martin, it takes a wee while to get into these things.
How's you? Apart from that, how's your day been?
Here's somebody saying James Herriot was a Yorkshireman. I think James Herriot was a Scot from Edinburgh. His name was Alf White. So I think somebody needs to do the research. My day was outstanding today, Martin.
Yes, I was busy with my dogs today. I was in.
What kind of dogs have you got, Martin?
I've got a cockapoo cross.
Lovely.
I've got a Chihuahua cross and I got a Maltese cross.
Wow, you're some man, I'll tell you.
I know. Hi, Scottie.
Hi, how you getting on?
I'm good. You?
Yeah, we're great. Dinky-Doo, are you enjoying the phone in?
I am.
Fantastic stuff. It's good stuff.
So, what are you up to tomorrow? Nothing much, just working as normal, eh?
Work as normal, Martin, and maybe the odd wee funny for you early in the morning up on the internet.
What time are you on tomorrow?
What time? No, I'll be back on 9 o'clock, Martin.
Okay.
The morning phone-in, sadly, are finished now because obviously I work. You see?
How are the disabled doing?
How are they?
The YouTube disabled.
Oh, we need to get more. We need to get more, Martin. You see, sometimes there's a lot of people subscribed years ago and they're going, oh, I don't understand what's going on here. They'll be getting messages during the night when we post things. So sometimes you lose 5 and sometimes you gain 10. So tonight we need to gain 10 subscribers on YouTube.
Every night I watch your videos. Every night, all of your different videos you have made. You're really, really good.
Did you see the wee funny one we made about getting married?
Yes, I did. You're very, very funny on that, aye.
Did you get a smile?
Yes, I did, mate.
Martin, I'm going to dash off. Lovely to hear you and well done.
Yes, so hopefully we can. I'll talk to you tomorrow night as normal, but I'll sit and listen to you for the night and that.
You are a top man in regards to your good lady and the dogs.
Right.
I Dinky-Doo. That's our Martin. To the telephones. You're live at Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, Scottie. It's Dee.
Oh, Dee, I need to speak to you, my darling. Dee, I am so humbled. I got a message today from GoFundMe.com/Scottie-McClue.
Okay.
And some very, very, very generous benefactor had put a massive amount in the account.
Oh, no.
Oh!
Listen, it's worth every penny.
Oh, you are so kind. That is so lovely because that goes towards the new piece of equipment.
Of course it is. We need to keep it growing.
We need to keep it growing. And you know, when we outgrow something, we'll say, we'll buy another piece.
That's it.
But I just love, I'm like you, I'm just buzzing because we are actually on.
Oh, definitely.
That's the big one, do you know what I mean? And the rest is trimmings. Okay, it doesn't look like some highly, highly polished show that you
Listen, we
get
don't
on the
need
telly.
that.
You
We
know,
don't need that though. We
as
just
long as we can
good
talk and
equipment, we can
discuss.
see each other, we can
Yes,
hear each other. That's it. That's all we need.
because the greatest assets on this phone-in are not actually the equipment, it's the people.
Of course, it's the people.
They're solid gold. And
calling in.
Dee, thank you so much. I am much humbled.
No problem at all.
Oh,
Listen, I wanted to make a wee point, and it was Anne that phoned you.
well, yes,
night.
just before you do that, now, little bit of housekeeping here, little bit of background info, a bit of gin up for you. What we got, just to finish the GoFundMe thing, we're very nearly at 50% of target.
I noticed, yeah.
Oh,
fantastic.
so we're just, because
Really
I looked at it the other night, I said, wouldn't it be wonderful to have half the money raised? Because you get the doubting Thomases laughing you, they go, ha ha ha, I see you were trying to raise some money on the internet, ha ha ha, nobody's bothered.
Exactly.
You know, and now they're going, oh, wait a wee minute, he's halfway there.
If everybody would just put £1 in,
a pound,
how quick would that be? Do you know what I mean? And
absolutely, a pound. If 1,250 people put in a quid, you know, but some of you have put in. I mean, we were looking for 100 angels, D, at £7.50 to get us up the next bit. Now, I mean, that doesn't take us quite to target, but you know, you can do the math, you know that. But £7.50, and some people, like your good self, 5, 10, 15 angels just at one fell swoop.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's the kindness that I love. It's the beautiful people that are going, no, I'll give the man something.
Well, we appreciate you. The ones that appreciate you should be doing it.
Aye, it will get there and we'll get sorted. I just know.
Of course.
You know, the YouTube channel is going to be a challenge, but we will do it. I mean, my wee married thing at 15 seconds. 300 have seen it. Then I looked on the Facebook page, 3,000 have seen it.
I know. It's maybe the different, like you said, maybe America, different places, and I've seen the video at different times.
TikTok is absolutely fantastic because obviously it's up there. Now put your call up, by the way.
Yeah, TikTok is just, I had to actually cancel my TikTok. I can't keep up with it.
Just so much happening.
I'm too old for it.
So no, you're not too old for it at all. There's just so much happening. It's wonderful.
But it's good for yourself. It's good if you know, for people like yourself, presenters.
I was directing a wee play one day, and there was a couple of young ladies in the play, and I said, "Now, girls, I need you to go and practice a wee dance routine here." Right? I said, so away the two of you go and make up a dance routine. I said, now, I don't just want the kind of dance you'll do on TikTok. And one of them looks at me and goes, do you actually know what that is? I said, oh, I think you'll find out I do. It was just wonderful. Do you know what I mean?
I know, definitely.
And TikTok, D, again, I'm very humbled by the people. I mean, we used to get some fabulous people on the phone-ins. Let's not kid ourselves. But we also got a real few numpty heads. We got a few drunks.
Sometimes the numpty heads really made it as well.
Oh, they were good as well because we could send them doing the swanny.
We did get a good laugh, but yeah, I know what you mean.
And you know, on a Friday night, the first dozen of them were all steamboats and
I know.
Giving it, Sky, wait, let me talk, Sky, wait, give me a wee chance, and you know, and you thought, come back on when you're sober, you know.
Get to your bed.
Get to your beds, the lot of you. But I mean, that was going out to 2.5 million. You think that's big until you go down to where we were in the northwest, the northeast, the Midlands. You're then into something like 9-10 million, you know.
I know, it's crazy.
Just huge radio stations, you know.
I know.
And it's very, very strange because when I'm phoning somebody, if it's a commercial call about something, I'll never, ever assume they know me because that's bad news. If you say, excuse me, you'll know me, SCOTTIE McCLUE, and they go, sorry, I've never heard of you. Then you don't look so sharp, you know what I mean? Whether they have or not. So I always start the call with, now, I don't know if the name will ring a bell with you. SCOTTIE McCLUE, and very often the answer is SCOTTIE McCLUE from the radio. Of course I know who you are. You know, all that sort of stuff. Is it you? Is this a wind up? You know, so you always get that. You say, no, no, no. I once phoned a BBC national station to talk to the programmer about a genuine professional thing. And the phone got put down on me. It goes,
the phone got put down on you for a
and the phone got put down on me, right? It goes like this. It goes, this is a wind up, slam. Because he thought he was going to wind up. Hello, is that the BBC? You're live on Scottie McClue, you know. So that, and I phoned back. I says, look, can somebody get a hold of him? I said, I'm his secretary. I said, well, can you tell him it is me? It's not a wind up. I would like a word.
You just need to hear your voice and know it's not a wind up, Scottie.
And I remember meeting somebody very senior from the BBC at dinner, and I said, sir, lovely to meet you. You'll not know me. And he shook my hand very warmly. He went, Dinky-Doo.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I thought that was lovely, you know.
That's great. That's great.
But now, so that's the housekeeping, and thank you for that.
No problem.
And for all your enthusiasm.
No problem at all.
Now then.
Can I make a quick point?
Oh, you must. That's why you came on.
I did, and you spoke all the way through that.
You'll be good off going, I could have got a word in with him. And I did get pulled up for it. I got pulled up for it the other night. A top lady pulled me up and said, see that call with Dee? That was just outstanding. But can I say something? Let her talk. I said, oh, sorry, I will.
Well,
right.
I'll keep it short.
No, keep it long. I'm going to shut it now. Keep it long.
Right, okay. So it was Anne. I'm sure it was Anne. A lovely woman, and she was actually in the same sort of circumstances as myself. I have 4 children. My oldest daughter is 40. My oldest daughter is 26. And I've got a son at 24. I got a 16 and a boy at 14. I've worked hard mostly all my days, but my health hasn't been too good. So I'm in the house with the kids. Well, you can't really call them kids, teenagers, blah blah blah. But my daughter, she went to St Andrews University just before COVID. It was a face-to-face interview, and she got in, but because of the COVID and everything, job-wise, she says, Mum, she got a few places, and she says, I'm going to go to Strathclyde University.
Strathclyde is a fabulous university. St Andrews is obviously very wonderful as well, and very picturesque.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's doing psychology there. But anyway, my main point is, when I spoke the other night, it wasn't to bring mothers down at work, because I've done it myself. My call was about my perfect view of life in general. The 1930s, 40s, and 50s. It was a more simplistic time where you could give a kid a piece of chalk. They would draw what you call that, hopscotch?
Yes.
And they would be there for 2 hours.
Piva.
Yep, exactly. And it's just the simplicity of the times that really appeal to me. So that's why I said, about women being in the house and the men being out. And it's not the same nowadays. Sorry, I'm drinking water.
You're quite right. I might have a wee sip myself.
It's not the same nowadays. I mean, back then, gentlemen were gentlemen, which I love all that sort of era.
Well, I still open the door for ladies and open the car door for ladies, the passenger door, all that stuff. I'm talking about when we're getting into the car.
That's the kind of stuff I'm really, really into. I'm a really old-fashioned person. So if Anne's listening, it's just to say, I certainly didn't mean to.
No, you don't need to ever justify yourself. You were talking with a good open heart and making complete sense, because the truth is, a lot of the career women would rather be in the house with the reins.
Well, I think so. And we're in a different generation. I mean, the kids nowadays, the mothers and fathers are out working their backsides off to get them the latest PlayStation or
but also what they're doing, see, when you were playing in the street,
well.
yes, but what they're doing, they've got a new love, if you like. So they're not listening to their parents, and sometimes they're not listening to their teachers because they're on their phone.
Exactly. This is another thing that bugs me, absolutely bugs the life out of me, is phones in classrooms. That's another story we'll go into another time, I think.
No, but I think there's going to have to be, Kareem said an interesting thing. He's a teacher, and he said that, you know, you'll never now get the phones out of schools because they're part of it, and we need to find a way to use them well and wisely. But you know, you're still going to find, I think, that education will suffer, and I think the parents have to come down heavily on the side of the school.
They definitely do.
You know, it's a big ask.
The governments have got a lot to do with this as well. I mean, look at it. I mean, you can't, not this smacking, but this is another thing that I'm going to say, I'm not this smacking children as, I don't condone it, but there is children have no respect or no manners these days. It's very, very rare, I think, to see a nice, respectful, well-mannered child.
It makes such a difference.
Yeah.
You know, I remember being in a bookshop in Manchester one Sunday afternoon, and there was a husband and a wife and a big son. So you had a nice, smart boy, nice husband there, and the wife looked very pleasant. Then she turned and spoke to the child, and then she said to the child, "Don't be so challenging." And I thought, what an advanced parent. Don't be so challenging. We'd have got a thump. Suddenly she turned round, Dee, and slapped him full in the face.
I know.
And the whole shop saw it. And the father didn't know where to put himself because everybody turned around the shop and went, "Oh, there's no need for that." And started parenting.
That's so funny because it puts me in mind of when I was young. And remember that the pick and mix used to be all at the front of the shop where you were in.
Aye.
You would get maybe a bag with a wee mixture.
Yes.
So I remember standing in the queue. I was only young. I was about maybe 6 or something. And I remember taking a couple and eating them before I got to the actual desk. And it wasn't actually, nobody seen me apart from one of the customers. And I remember I got outside and I actually got a slap in the lug. And I was mortified. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to say anything to my mum or dad because they would have given me a thumping.
Well, that's it. That's it. And in fact, the teachers used to give you a slap if you cheeked up.
I know.
You know, and I remember telling some youngsters this, what it was like when I was in school, and they said, "You should just, but I'd just batter them." I said, "Listen, these guys were commandos from the war." They were huge, big guys, and they would get you and give your head a good shake with the hair, you know, and say, "Behave yourself."
Yeah.
Remember they used to say that, you shout, "Away out my sight."
Yeah, I've not experienced that, right, and I've had a book thrown at me.
Oh, gosh.
But I think that was that.
They used to, there's always one sort of oversteps the mark, and the teachers used to go daft. And I remember one guy, I was talking to a guy one time, and he said when he was in school, the teacher got him by the hair, bumped his head off the board and said, "Ohm's law, boy, Ohm's law," and repeated it. He says, I didn't think much of his punishment. He says, but I do remember Ohm's law.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Oh, it's crazy when you look back and everything, isn't it?
Oh, it's different now. It's all feather bed stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's all feather bedded, everything. "Oh, are you all right?" You know.
Oh, if the kids are wrapped in cotton wool nowadays, and you know.
And I'll tell you something else. Probably all that lockdown stuff didn't really help them. You know what I mean?
It hasn't.
You know, because they weren't getting the discipline. You know.
Yeah, my 16-year-old daughter sort of suffered quite a wee bit through the lockdown. She loves school. she actually used to cry when it was the summer holidays. She didn't know what to do.
No, she loved the school. A lot of this, I mean, the school is a nice place to be for so many youngsters.
It is.
You know?
You get your munchies in every school, and you've just got to, as I say to the kids, just thrive and try and get good marks, because what you'll be doing is leaving all the numpties behind you.
That's it. Get your marks and get on. Don't waste your time. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's numpties in all walks of life. There's even numpties come on Scottie McClue's phone-ins.
Well, listen, Scottie, I'm going to go and I'll let a numpty get on now.
Well, listen, my darling, it's been so good to hear you again. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. But we love your stuff.
Problem.
And you just need to tell me to shut up in future, because the people want to hear you.
Can I get a minute, Scottie? Can you just now and let me speak?
I just let me speak the rest of it. And as I say, I got pulled up.
We're straight talkers, Scottie. We're straight talkers.
We love it, but that's the quality of the programme, because everybody knows where they stand.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love that. And I think you are just amazing. And thank you. I've uploaded your call the other night.
I know, I noticed that.
Did you spot that? I thought that the world needs to hear this.
Oh. So a quick sorry to Anne if she felt that I was, you know, if I offended her in any way.
Not at all.
Just to let her know that I've been there and seen it and done it as well. I worked very hard. It's just my wee, what do you call it?
A wee idea for a perfect world.
It is. It's my wee perfect world that I would love to be in. A wee simple world and with the children and so.
It's not too much to ask. And a jelly piece.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Yep, that's it. Well, listen, you take care. Okay.
And you, Angel, thanks again, and Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo to you
Dinky-Doo to you. Thanks very, very much, Dee. Bye-bye.
No problem.
There we are.
Bye
That's
now.
our Dee. What a super lady. To the telephones, guys. Evening, everybody. Lovely to have you with us in the chat. Scottie, you're late. Numpty Heed, I think you need to get your clocks into a horologist. Oh, that's got you. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hi, it's Dave from Ilkley. How are you?
Dave from Ilkley.
How are you?
How lovely to hear you from Ilkley Moor. Are you on the moor Bat Hat?
Just off the Kiln Calf.
What a lovely. I went over to Ilkley one day, Dave, and what a beautiful drive over from Lancashire.
Yep.
And I remember looking down. I was looking down, seeing the canal. Would that be right?
That's right. Yeah.
Aye, that's it. Lovely.
Didn't you say you got your hat from Ilkley?
Yes, I got that. Not this one. This is Hogs of Fife. But I have many hats, as you know, and one of them I bought brand new from a lovely outfitters in the middle of the town.
Right.
Yeah, with proper like varnished drawers and glass cases and the full bit. A gentleman's outfitters, so you'll know which one I mean.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember back in TFM.
Fantastic stuff. Now then, here's a guy here, Dave. Scottie, you legend. Remember you back in the day, the original phone-in king. Keep it up. And then he says, I thought you'd be about 210 years old by now. You sounded an old guy back in the Scott FM days.
Anyway, I was listening to the guy earlier about the fireworks.
Fireworks, aye.
Yeah. Right. You might call me silly or stupid, I don't know.
No, we won't. No, we won't.
They're on about, right, petrol and cars with pollution and stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
And they're getting rid of the cars. They're getting rid of them by, what, 2024 or something?
Yeah, 2025, right. Is it?
25, yeah. So if they get rid of all that then, so how come fireworks with all the pollution stuff going off on that?
And what a mess. And who clears up afterwards all the burnt out rockets, the paper, the sticks, the sparklers, the metal, or the whole thing? Who clears all that up?
Exactly. So you might call me silly. I'm just saying, like, if the pollution on that cars and stuff, why is the pollution on fireworks so well?
Correct, correct. And they're also sending all that into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
No, I'm not calling you stupid at all. You're absolutely 100% correct.
Yeah. And, you know, it's all in the air. Then the animals, like you said, you know, animals get scared and, you know.
Yeah, and the animals, I mean, you're out in a beautiful part of Yorkshire, and I mean, there are horses, goats, cows, sheep, the lot. You know, and if you've got a, they're going to be terrified.
Yeah.
Am I not right in thinking there are sheep on the moor?
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
Sheep, cows, and everything up there.
You see the lot when you look up, you think, there we go.
Yeah. So I'm just a bit confused, you know, with all of them, like, but I'll ask you, see if...
I shall, Dave, I shall put this out not just to one nation, but to many nations.
Yeah, please do.
Top man, lovely to hear you, Dinky-Doo.
Right, thank you.
Ta-da-la.
Right.
There we are, that's our Dave from Ilkley in Yorkshire, and he's up more but at. You can't beat that, I say. Right, who do we have here? You're live on Scotty's Phone In. Who's that? Hello? Mr. Nobody. That one, right. Who have we got here? Hello?
Hello.
Who's that?
It's Danny.
Danny, lovely to hear from you, mate. Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo. I think you're needing to extend your show, but 1 hour just isn't enough.
It's not enough, Danny. I know, but I do love the fact that everybody's finding out about it. We need to see an increase in the subscribers on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I think you need to go to 2 hours.
Yeah.
You need to. In the future, maybe, but we'll see.
We shall see. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm here to report my findings.
Aha.
Last week you sent me away to read the McClue report.
I did, yes. A report from GEL Macron.
That's right, yes.
One of the finest economists in the world.
Well, I read the report and it was a good report. And, you know, I agree what you said in the report. It all does kind of ring true what was said. It was written in 1975.
75, correct. And then it was hidden for years and years and years by the British government from the Scots.
And it explains Scotland's economic viability in terms of the kind of oil revenue and things like that.
Yeah.
However, I just think now it's kind of out of date. It's nigh on, you know, kind of irrelevant.
Well, no, it's not actually irrelevant. I mean, that report now is 46 years old.
Yeah.
Yes, and a lot of things have changed. The oil industry and the gas industry have changed dramatically, but they've been replaced by renewable energies, by huge increases in food and whiskey exports, by a lot of things having the Union flag on them when they've come from Scotland and should have the saltire on them. So there's still a massive, massive economy. See, people will say, you've only got 5 million people. One person could be turning out millions of pounds. Then you've got the financial services industry.
Yeah, I heard you, and I think it was Kareem the other night talking about the flags on the food in the supermarkets.
Yeah.
You know, but I just don't think that's really, you know, waving flags just doesn't get...
No, it's not waving flags. What it is it's being credited with coming from the UK, and the government for that is Westminster, when it's actually come from Scotland. Therefore, we're talking hard economic figures, Danny. Sorry?
But it's the same thing, Scotty. It's the same thing. If you buy a packet of strawberries that were picked in Scotland, they're from the UK.
Yes, they are from the UK, but Scotland's not getting credited with the fact that they are from Scotland.
Okay.
Now, that's fine. Now, listen, Danny, let me just qualify that. That's fine because at the moment, Scotland is part of the UK. So that is absolutely fine. But I'm talking a commercial accreditation, because if Scotland were independent, then these strawberries would be being exported from Scotland to the rest of the UK and the rest of the world.
And I'm sure in a situation where if Scotland were independent, that flag would be a saltire.
Yeah, but can you see where I'm coming from? I'm not being nationalistic. I'm not even being nationalist. I'm purely into the economics of independence.
Oh, well, that's good, because I've got some facts here for you, Scotty, that I'm going to give you, and you can give me your opinion on them.
Yeah, well, if you give me somebody else's opinion, which has been put down as fact, I'll give you the true figures.
Oh, no, I've got the facts here, and I'm talking about germs.
Yeah, well, you see, in actual fact, if you look closely at that, you'll probably see a figure which says amount unknown.
Well, let's have a look at the top line figures, shall we? Scotland's budget deficit is at 36.3 billion.
Right,
which is about
so
22% of GDP.
Yeah, hold on a wee minute. Scotland doesn't have a deficit because it hasn't borrowed any money.
But we spend more than we take in tax. That's what we mean by
No,
that.
no. We give 75 billion to Westminster. That's your top line.
But the money that is spent on Scotland is more than that Scotland takes in tax.
No,
That's
you're not listening. You're not listening. 75 billion coming from all of Scotland's assets. Yeah, all that kind of idea, plus your taxes, that goes to Westminster. So Scotland is 75 billion down as a debit, because that's gone as a credit to HM Treasury, okay? Then you start. Now, that won't be mentioned in these figures.
But Scotland's budget deficit for 36 billion, then you're saying that's a made-up figure?
No, what I'm saying is it'll probably be a true figure, but take the 36 billion away from 75 billion.
Right, okay. Well, now what about the Barnett formula?
The Barnett formula, we get 28 billion back.
Right. Well, we get £2,000 more per head.
That doesn't matter. We get 28 billion back from sending 75 billion. So if I gave you 75 billion and you send me 28 back, then I am seriously in credit.
Well, I'm not sure you're accurate with these figures. I'm not.
No. These are the figures. I can tell you that right now.
Well, where are they coming from? Tell me.
That is the actual figure that's sent down, and that's the actual figure that comes back. So they're coming from the Barnett formula.
Tell me, and I'll go and have a look at it.
Yes, go and have a look at it. 46 billion pounds. We are down.
Well, which report am I looking at? You gave me the Macron report.
You've got the Macron report on the oil. Yep, that's nothing to do with the jazz, though. Right. So what you're next going to look at is the Barnett formula, what Scotland sends and what Scotland gets back.
Yes, we get 30% higher than the rest of the UK.
Yes, but that's fine because we send another, what did I say to you? We send another 46 billion down there. So it doesn't matter what we get back. We're due back a lot more than that if we're sending all that money.
If you can cite the website for that, then I'm sure me and the rest of the viewers will be interested to see that.
Yeah, but remember, there's a lot of pressure from Westminster not to cite that because they want to stuff people's heads full of the fact that Scotland is heavily subsidised, when in actual fact Westminster is heavily subsidised by Scotland. So don't bite the hand that feeds you. Sorry?
Give me the facts and I'll have a look at them.
These are the facts. You check that out.
But I also wanted to pick up on a point. I think it was Kareem again that said last week that, he says, oh, Danny must be reading unionist articles. I don't just read unionist articles.
Good. I'm very pleased to hear that, Danny, because the more sources you can get, the better.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Yes.
Here's another Danny saying the Barnett formula is a farce and based on false representation of income. This has been proven.
Well, then show me the proof. I want to see it. I'm asking.
Well, it's all out there. I mean, you can actually do it just by popping it into a search engine and checking different sources.
Well, that's how I've got my figures.
You know,
that I'm putting to you.
But remember, I'm also talking to people, some of them who know every single penny that's in Scotland.
Well, yes, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. But listen, I'm going to go there now, but I'll leave you with this.
Yes.
Kareem's a teacher, isn't he? I think I heard you say.
So I believe, yes.
I'd like to know what Kareem's view is on the SNP's record on education for the past 10 years. I read an article today that there's so many hundred schools that haven't even been inspected since 2011.
Well, you see, again, there may be a lot of anti-nationalist propaganda out there.
Well, I'm sure.
You see, let's look at Westminster's record on it. Right, and one of the worst performing areas in education is East Berkshire.
But I'm not interested in East Berkshire. I live in Scotland.
Yeah, no, but I'm telling you about East Berkshire and all the rest of it, and that's like saying that the drugs are up. That's hardly the fault of the government.
But this is what nationalists tend to do. If we point out an error in Scotland, they seem to point down to England and say, "Well,
no. All I'm saying is you've got to look at how the world is going at the moment. So any problems? Scotland still has the world's top education system, no doubt.
I think there's many that would dispute that.
No, nobody can dispute it because it's a fact that that's what we've got.
Well, it used to be.
No, it is. It absolutely is. And Scotland had 4 universities when England had 2.
Well, yes, but I mean, today we're seeing that Scotland's education, unfortunately, isn't what it used to be.
Well, no, nothing's what it used to be, Danny.
Well, we can't just accept that.
No, we can't just accept that. So they're working on it as best they possibly can. So whatever government of the day, they will have to carry the can for what's happening on their watch.
Absolutely, and I totally agree.
You know, and I mean, I'm up for that. I'm not a political man at all. I'm not defending anything here. I'm just explaining.
You could have fooled me.
No, not at all. I am not. I am absolutely 100% apolitical. But from an economic point of view, I think Scotland could do very well. It doesn't matter, under which particular government. Independence is much bigger than nationalism.
But as long as we keep the Queen, you say?
Very, very vital. Vital, because that's the first thing the unionists are going to say. Any threat to the Queen, so they'll remove 50% of the vote. If you say the Queen is 100% fine, she is our head of state, our sovereign lady, none of that will ever change. She and her heirs and successors will reign in perpetuity.
Well, I think that's kind of out of step with the nationalists.
Well, it might be out of step with the nationalists, but the nationalists need to get their act together and acknowledge that, or independence will be toast.
Yeah.
It's very out of step with some of the nationalists, and I think it's pretty out of step with the Greens. But if they start interfering with the monarchy, independence will be toast. Because in Scotland, the monarchy is a Scottish institution. The Scots took over the English crown in 1603. Scotland's monarchy goes back 2,437 years.
Oh, there you go.
So there you go. And anyway, anybody that says otherwise needs to actually get a good look at that. So that doesn't change.
Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. I'm sure Kareem's frantically dialing to get through, so I'll let you go. And
Danny, a lovely call. Lovely to hear you, and a good bit of quality argy-bargy.
Absolutely. We all love it. Thank you.
Dinky-Doo, good night. There we are. To the telephones as soon as we can. You're live at Scotty's Phone In. Who's that?
Hiya,
who's that?
Hiya, it's Mummy Paws.
Mummy Paws, how lovely to hear you.
Now, Scotty, listen, I looked on the Facebook page and it said that you were getting married.
No, it didn't.
There was another thing that said a joke.
Yes.
I thought you were getting married for a minute there.
No, who would have me? Don't be ridiculous. No. I put that down. Everyone's going, oh, congratulations, big man. So good. I hope she's a queen and all that stuff. And I thought, wait, what's happening here? I've just put up a funny video about a pal of mine getting married. And it's just a wee joke, you know. He gave the registrar £50.
I was just about to put congratulations to you there as well.
Yes, and a lot of my colleagues today were going, "Oh, your folder's there." I didn't set out to fool anybody. I just set out to put up a wee funny video. But I think instead I put up a picture.
Yeah, you put up a picture of
yourself. That's what's caused it. But anyway,
I'm getting married.
I'm getting married. No, it just says getting married. I didn't say I'm getting married.
Thought that was quite funny.
It is a
So
hoot.
I just wanted to congratulate you.
And do you know that 3,000 people have had a look at the page?
Oh, really? Oh, that's good.
Yes, I got the figure in today. It says 3,000 have appreciated your post.
I'm Daddy.
What a laugh. What a laugh.
I've got on late tonight, but I was just listening to the guy talking about politics and stuff, and I totally zone out.
He was
talking about politics.
well, so do I. I mean, I am 100% apolitical, but if somebody comes on with a point and the point's not right, I will correct them.
Yeah, totally. But yeah,
we can't. Mummy, pause. We can't have people talking nonsense. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. You're in Scotland. They'll talk nonsense.
Yeah, but you've never ever heard any nonsense from Scottie McClue.
Oh no, not at all. Not ever. Not ever, ever.
How good is that?
Been going?
Fantastic. The phone in is 30 years old in June.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
10 years. 10 years of an age difference for me then.
Isn't that just amazing? Yeah. Yeah, 30 years of it. Everyone's going, see, when I first did the Scottie McClue phone in, people said, oh, no, no, I mean, it's very good, it's very funny, and that, but I mean, it'll not last.
Oh, no, it's sad.
It'll not last. So, well, look, we've done 30 years just for starters.
Were you talking about haggis tonight?
No, somebody else is talking haggis. They've just said here, Jaffa Cake Feet on TikTok says, my granny used to catch haggis on our school holidays.
Right, okay. It's just I saw it come up, but I've just came on really just.
And somebody else says, haha, haggis, you can only catch it in winter.
Yeah. Well, I've got an interesting story about haggis.
Yes, go on.
Was that I had told, well, it's interesting to me, it might not be interesting to everybody.
Well, we'll find out. We'll be the judge of that. Just you tell it.
So I had told my kids about the haggis. And I had said to them about how it was a little creature and how it ran up the hill and it falls down because it's got 3 legs or something and one of them shorter than the other. And so we're talking about that. And my son says to his sister, yeah, but that's not real, that's not true. And she's like, yes, it is, because Mum told me it was. And then she got really, really upset with me and fell out with me for ages because she thought that haggis were real. And then that's as her just finding out that it was actually a story.
The wee soul, it was just a wee story. Oh, for goodness sake, let's keep quiet about Christmas.
Well, that's the thing, because I've never told my kids about that.
No, not a word. All is well. All is well.
I'm not going to say what, but my kids have all got autism.
Right.
See if I was to tell them that and tell them that something was real that wasn't.
Oh, there'd be a nightmare.
It's like the end of the world.
Yeah.
So with the haggis story, it was quite funny though, because I didn't realise how serious she was taking me.
Oh, the wee
soul. And then later on, it's like, oh. So there you go.
Dinky-Doo, Mummy Paws. A joy to hear you.
Good to you too.
We'll catch up soon.
You
look after yourself, little angel. Regards to the kids. Ta-da.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. What a super lady. That's it. We are so busy tonight, guys. We've got 2 minutes left. You're live on Scotty's Phone In. Who's that?
It's Akil from Edinburgh.
Akil from Edinburgh. How lovely to hear you, sir.
Yes. 1 point, then I'm going to go. The COP26 summit in Glasgow, I heard insulate Britain is going to come to Scotland and block the roads.
Apparently so.
I need to go to work. I need to provide for my family.
Yes.
And if they block me, I'll run them over with 100 miles per hour.
Oh, no, Akil, we can't say that. You'll have to withdraw that remark. You won't actually.
Well, I take it back, But we need to.
We do need to be wary, and we do need to take action. But I know you'll certainly not do that.
We're working people.
We need to get to work. So we need Insulate to listen to the internet phone-in and realise the Scots need to get to work.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Do something. We don't like disruption.
But we'll just say that Akil was only talking in some sort of metaphorical way.
Yeah, it's just frustrating. You watch the news and you get angry on this kind of issue.
I know, I understand. I'm going to have to dash. We're out of time. Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo, thank you.
Dinky-Doo, lot. That's it, folks. We are out of time.